my patience. I only feel taking time with other women that ain't me, but I've been refusing medications. Till I got my hands on him, I'ma tell him I'm too far long. He got me waiting, anticipating, praying to the Lord to give him to my Lord and all. So this why I'm fresh, please just need me, completely. All my heart yearns for you. Is he far away? Is he always here? This man is testing me. Help me, Lord. I need you to tell me, baby, where the hell is my husband? What is taking him so long? Before he beat, oh, baby, where the hell is my lover? Getting down with another. Tell him if you see him, baby. If you see him, tell him. He said, how do you everybody turns if my dress to him, and I'm tired of living like this. He must be out there getting ready, trying to fix up his tie. Hello, this way, no white this way. Till I get your heart going, I'ma turn it up too far much. I'm gonna love ya, know when I love ya. Pray to the Lord to hurry you along. Baby, I ain't telling rush, just need me. All my heart yearns for you. Is he far away? Is he okay? This man is testing me. Help me, Lord. I need you to tell me, baby, where the hell is my husband? What is taking him so long? Before he beat, oh, baby, where the hell is my lover? Getting down with another. Tell him if you see him, baby. If you see him, tell him. He said, tell him I'm kind. Tell him I got brown eyes and a grown fit. If he doesn't find me now, I'm gonna die. No, so penny. Want it. I'm like a ring. I'm like a diamond ring. I'm a wedding finger. I'm like a big shiny diamond. I can wave around and talk about it. I want the things that forgive me, 'cause I can never doubt it. Until death, I do. I see him fight. This man is testing me. Help me, Lord. I need you to tell me, baby, where the hell is my husband? What is taking him so long? Before he beat, oh, baby, where the hell is my lover? Getting down with another.
Your husband is coming.
I would like a ring. I would like a diamond ring. Oh, I would like a big shiny diamond.
Yeah. Good morning, y'all. No, there is no fresh R&B right now. It's R&B Talk on the Tuesday, y'all. What's good? Good morning. My name is Steve Gooseby. Welcome back, folks. Got Rich Sports in the building. How you doing, Rich?
All right. Good morning, Steve. It's the 2 days after the Super Bowl, and I know a lot of us New England Patriots fans are a little dejected right now, but you know what? It was a great season, and I still say we played with house money this year.
Yeah, you're right, man. Super Bowl withdrawal, man. You know, New England Patriots, a lot of folks, man. We're going to talk about that. Got a lot of good things coming up for you today. You know, if you're looking on social media right now, you see the screen, you see honoring of our history. It is Black History Month, and I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. But for those that know, we need your support for Black History Month, because what we're trying to do here in Massachusetts, we want to honor one of our own, the late Judge Leslie E. Harris. I got State Rep Chris Worrell, who's going to be calling up later on, and he's going to tell us all about the bill we're trying to get passed, so that we can honor him properly. If you didn't know him, prominent individual in the community. He was just a great person all around, mentoring so many people professionally, helped out so many families, turned so many people's lives around. Just a great person all around, you know. I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet him, Rich, but you was telling me a story about a guy we both know.
Yeah, I've never met the judge, but I heard his name ring throughout the city for so many years. Never got a chance to meet him, but I actually know several individuals that work in the court system that always spoke very highly, helped them get jobs in the court system.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of individuals that I know personally that had their problems in life with substance abuse. And when they went in front of him, they weren't hardened criminals, but, you know, petty crimes or whatever. They went in front of the judge, and he recognized that people go through their trials and tribulations, And what he did, he always recommended some type of drug treatment. And I
Right.
know several guys that when he recommended that actually got their lives turned around.
And that says a lot about him, because when you can touch individuals indirectly, not even knowing them, I mean, that's a big thing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later on. And yeah, again, in celebration of Black History Month, we need your support. We want you to help out in trying to make that happen. Now, in a few minutes, I'll be talking to Michael James Sewell. He's an award-winning actor, producer, rising force in the film and television industry. We're going to have him right here live. He's going to be in town this weekend. We're going to talk about all that good stuff. So that's coming up. But before all of that, and he'll be calling up probably in the next 5 minutes or so, but let's talk a little bit about the Patriots and in their season, man. What are your thoughts, Rich?
Oh, Steve, I was just so proud of the team. I mean, me and you had conversations. We said we saw about 10 or 11 wins and maybe a wild card. We didn't expect them to go 14-3, win the division, knock
Right.
off the Buffalo Bills. We was happy to just make the playoffs and, maybe lose in the first round. And that would have been a big jump from last year. But to make it all the way to the Super Bowl and had a chance to win another Lombardi trophy, that was amazing, Steve.
Right.
Actually, Steve, I call it being ahead of schedule by maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I definitely didn't expect him to go as far as they did. But in terms of that game, I can take a loss, but the way they lost, I didn't like it, man. It was ugly. Nothing looked good. But I think the main problem that I associate to the game Drake May had and just the entire offense was Will Campbell. That whole side was a problem. And, when I think about it, like, why didn't the coaches do anything about that? Because we saw it in the game versus the Chargers. We also saw it in the game versus the Texans and Denver. So we had a problem on that side. Now, overall, he had a good season because up until when he got the injury, I think he hyperextended the knee or something like that.
Yeah, he had a high ankle sprain.
Was it an ankle sprain or the meniscus?
It was like a high knee sprain. And some people, Ted Johnson, who's on EEI, former Patriot linebacker who won 3 Super Bowls, he said that causes you not to have your full strength to pushing off.
Right.
But, Steve, let's be honest, when he was healthy, Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns destroyed him. And it was a first year.
Well, Myles Garrett, you can't, that dude's going to destroy everybody.
Yeah, he destroys everybody. That's true. I just feel what happened in the Super Bowl, the left side of our offensive line, that just snowballed in the game. That's what's mainly got our offense just threw it out of whack the whole game.
But as a coach, you saw that in the first 2 playoff games, including the AFC Championship.
That's
you
right.
saw that.
Yes.
And when he was hurt, what was the guy's name that replaced him when he was hurt?
I'm not familiar with him. He's a backup, but the guy actually played pretty well.
He did a good job. He did a good job.
He played really well when he was hurt.
Drake didn't have those issues. So
he didn't have those issues. Yes.
So why didn't they, okay, he's a rookie, number one. Listen, this ain't about feelings or me, trusting in you to do a job that I know you can't do based on the injury. So why didn't they just put him in the game? Or why didn't they fix that problem when they had? To me, he was the answer.
Well, Steve, I'm going to be honest with you. In the NFL and a lot of the pro leagues, especially the NFL, you drafted the guy number 3. That was very high. That's a very high pick for an offensive tackle. Now, that's a lot of investment at the number 3 pick.
Right.
You draft the guy at number 3, he's got to perform because that's a generational pick right there, the number 3 pick.
Right. I mean, yeah, you got to perform. But, I mean, we're talking a Super Bowl here.
Yes.
We're talking a Super Bowl. And to have, one, he's a rookie, but again, he did well. I thought he was doing good up until the playoffs, up until after he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was obvious. The injury obviously was still lingering.
Yes. And, there's a saying in football, Steve, If they're calling your name as an offensive tackle all the time in the game, that means you ain't doing a good job.
And he was crying at the end of the game, and he
Yes.
should have been, because he knows as a player, you had a major. I mean, in terms of his effect of the game on offense, 90%.
Well, Steve, this is
90%.
This is my assessment of the game. It was a very winnable game based on how the defense played, held them to 4 field goals, okay, 12-0. Steve, this is my thing. Offensive line, Drake May did not play a good game. When we had a chance to get back in that game, 19-7, and we were moving the ball, it seemed like we found something in their defense. We started moving the ball. They were playing a zone defense. We started moving the ball, hitting an open man in the zone, and then he mixed that interception, Steve. At that time, the score could have been 19-14.
Right.
Now, Sam Darnold has to play football. Sam Darnold really did not beat us in the Super Bowl, Steve.
No, he did not. You're right.
Sam Darnold did not beat us.
He did not beat us. And, you're right. That was a winnable game. Very winnable game. But, in defense of Drake May, right, if every time the ball's hiked and you only have a 1.5 to 2 seconds, and I might be wrong on the seconds, but you know what I'm saying. And that was the entire game on offense. He never had time. And when he did have time, he was so accustomed to someone being on his back, he wasn't accurate when it came to throwing the ball.
Steve, you want me to be honest? A lot of New England Patriots was using the phrase leading up to the game about Sam Darnold when he played for the Jets seeing ghosts.
Yeah, I was one of them.
I was one of them. I saw your meme on social media. Steve, I think Drake May saw ghosts in that game, man.
I don't know if he saw, pretty much.
Yeah.
I want to say I don't know if he saw a ghost. I think he just saw lions chasing him.
Yeah, exactly, Steve, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, but Steve, when he had the chance to make plays, he missed wide open receivers that could have kept drives going.
Yeah,
you just can't do that. I mean, he had a 70% passer rating during the season, Steve. So let's be honest,
says a lot right there.
He's very accurate. I think the stage. I was listening to the broadcast on 98.5 Patriots station. I watched the game, but I turned the TV down from the national guys, and I listened to Scott Zolak. And he did say he saw some nervousness in Drake May's playing. I mean, this guy, he's a veteran quarterback that played for the Patriots, and he calls a very good game. And he sees stuff that me and you don't see as casual fans watching the game.
And I'm not saying he didn't see those things. He probably saw all of that, right? And all of that's probably true. I just think what led up to it, the fact that he didn't have no time. If you're worried about the linebacker on your left side, that's the weaker side, he's there in 2-3 seconds, you can't even get to your first read.
Well, Steve, I always tell people I didn't play professional football. I didn't play college football. So my point is I take in information from all the ex-players. I process it, and I understand what they're saying and the way they break it down. So this is what they said. Some people actually criticize the offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. You've been in 10 Super Bowls. You have to be able to read the room and see what's going on. And there's got to be some adjustments made. Maybe putting in your running backs to give Drake more protection on that side of the line, Steve.
Well, you know what? This is what I'm going to say to that. And everything you're saying is accurate. It's not wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like, again, the left side of that line, number one. Number two, Josh is an offensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel as a coach. I'm just saying, like, though the issue they had in the Super Bowl, they had in the AFC Championship game and the 2 playoff games before that.
Yeah.
Why didn't they fix it, man?
Well, Steve, you know what? I'm a Patriot fan, and not to make the excuse, they faced the top 4 of the top 5 defenses through the playoffs.
They made it easy for Seattle.
And for them to make it to the Super Bowl and facing all 4 out of the 5 top defenses, that's really a monumental task that they went through to get all the way to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that most
At
definitely.
some point, Steve, if you don't get good offensive line play, it's not gonna be good. One of those, like you said, our defense kept us in the game, getting all the way to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, Steve, I was thinking, when is this bad offensive line play is gonna hurt us? And Steve, it got to the biggest game of the year, and it definitely hurt us.
It killed us.
Yeah.
It killed us.
And-
That left,
and-
you know,
And it's a credit to Seattle scouting. They saw something in the 3 games that we played. They figured it out where we're going to go to
You know
their
what?
weakest point and attack them.
I wouldn't even at this point. I wouldn't even say scouting because the whole world saw it.
Yeah, that's
when they
true.
played the Chargers.
Yeah.
And when they played the Texans, and then in Denver, we all saw it. We all saw that problem. Why didn't they fix the problem, man? I'm stuck on that, man.
Exactly.
I'm stuck on that.
But
That's coaching right
give
there.
Seattle credit. You know, Seattle, they saw the
I'm not-
weakness
I'm
and
not
they I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I don't want to act like a sore loser. I'm not giving them the credit, man.
Yeah.
All right, I give them the credit because they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We just made it easy for them to win,
And you know, Steve,
and we didn't compete as
Steve,
an
let's,
offense.
let's be honest. The great Bill Belichick, our former coach, led us
Right.
to 6 Super Bowls. What would he have done? He
I-
would have done the same thing.
I
Attack the
don't-
weakness.
Bill,
Bill Belichick always went after your weakness.
Good question. Good comment, right? What do you think he would have did on that side? I guarantee you he wouldn't have been playing.
Bill Belichick would have made a change at halftime.
That's what I'm hell yeah.
Bill Belichick would have pulled Will Campbell at halftime in that game.
He would have pulled him
Yes,
and put, just like I want to say we won't go there.
Yeah. Bill Belichick would have made it. He might have made that switch at halftime. No,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. Bill Belichick would have, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Again, I don't want to sound like a loser. I respect my guys. The Patriots. They had a great season. And, shout out to the folks, the Seahawk fans. Y'all did the damn thing. We just made it easy for you. I tell you one thing, though. Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, yes.
That dude, I mean, he's the man. And like Dita was saying earlier, he going to get paid.
Well, he proved that we have our number 1 corner.
Right.
I just recently listened on the drive here to Ty Law, Jermaine Wiggins, and those guys are both Super Bowl champs. Ty Law 3 times, he's a Hall of Famer, and he was our best cornerback in the early 2000s. Let's face it.
Right.
Hall of Fame. Jermaine Wiggins won a Super Bowl. They broke it down just like most of us probably understand who watch football.
Yep.
What they said, all Patriots Super Bowl teams had great corners. If you think about it, Ty Law, Asante Samuel, Darrell Revis, and Stephon Gilmore. Every Super Bowl team needs a great cornerback, and we look like we have our guy on that side right now.
Yeah, we definitely have him. And Jones is a dog too, man.
Yes.
But yeah, so we do have a special guest.
Well, we never got beat down the field.
No, we didn't get beat down.
Yeah.
Like I said, the defense, it was a championship type of defense. They did their job. If we were just able to get some offense going, I think it would.
A couple of them picks from Sam Darnold. He gave us a couple of chances, but we didn't take advantage of it.
Listen, the first opportunity came with Jones. I think the first pass of the game should have been a pick six.
I think Jones was surprised. It was
it caught him off guard. He was like, "Damn, you throwing it to me?"
Yeah,
but he didn't get it. So my guess, he disappeared. I was going to bring up our guest, Michael James Sewell, award-winning actor. He's on standby. We'll have him up shortly. He'll be in town this Saturday for a Valentine's Day event. Man, it's Valentine's Day already.
Time to spend some money again.
Time to spend some money.
Christmas just went by. I guess it's time to spend some money again. Hey, you know how these corporate holidays, Steve, it's all about the corporations, man.
Yeah, man.
It's all about the corporations, man. They keep us spending this money, man,
Yeah, you're right about that. But all right, so my guest will be back in a second. I'll bring him up and we'll talk about what he got going on in the world of Hollywood and movies, stuff like that. So I just think, and we're gonna come back and talk about that some more, but I just think the Patriots defense, man, is it, and they got a lot of money to spend. They got a lot of money to spend.
I think we got about 12 draft picks total,
right,
in all 7 rounds total, Steve.
Right.
So we got a lot of draft picks to take chances with.
Yep. All right, folks, I want to introduce to you my special guest, but before that, I want you to check this clip out right here.
Listen, he got out talking crazy to me, pointing his finger all in my face. So yeah, I hit him.
You can't be doing shit like that.
Look, Tina, your mans came to me confronting me about you. Somebody I'm trying to buy his wife. I don't need to buy you. Do it.
Because I'm not for sale to anybody.
Look, I just need to do this one last time. And I promise you, it's over. I promise you.
And that almost happened. And that's the end of that. Why can't we just be friends?
Because I dream about you all the time.
I can't get you out my mind, out my dreams.
Don't you think about me too?
I do, but I'm married. I can't do this.
You can't.
All right, folks. Give it up for the award-winning actor and producer, Michael James Suo. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, family? How y'all brothers doing?
All right, man. All right, brother.
We doing good, man. You down in ATL, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Down in the ATL, man.
All right, ATL's slowly but surely becoming the Hollywood the second, or I know a few guys down there doing movies and directing and things like that, man. But welcome to the show. Thank you.
I ain't gonna lie. It actually was that before I moved here, man. I'm from Memphis, so
okay.
it actually was that scapegoat at first, though. It still is.
There you go. All right, man. Talk to me about some of the projects you're working on. I know you're gonna be in town this weekend, so we'll get into that. But talk to me about some of the projects you're working on right now.
Man, I just finished this film called Holy. Shouts out to Gerald, man, who wrote it. It's based on true events in his life. We got Charlotte's Web is coming out in March. It's a Tubi original. My girlfriend's husband, best friend Patriots is already out on Tubi doing well. We finna work on Tears of a Hustler season 4. Shouts out to Silk White. We're gonna start that, I think, in spring, man. So Secret Lovers coming out March, man. So it's a lot of stuff about to drop, man.
Secret Lovers. And like I said, it's Valentine's Day this weekend. So I'm sure there's a lot to add to the event, man. And we'll get information on that shortly. But so how did you get into the acting business? Talk to me about that and what led you, to some of the roles you're in right now.
I stopped selling dope and I moved to Atlanta.
Hey, that's a good reason.
That's funny you said that, because the question I was gonna ask you, brother, watching some of your clips from your movies, I've watched one of your movies, and unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say it, my wife and my daughter actually know more about your movies than me, because your movies are on these different stations, and I'm not good with technology. Now, if you give me a remote and just click onto the regular cable channels like HBO and that stuff, I'll find you. But my daughter, they be on Tubi and all this stuff, and man, they watching your movies, and I'm like, what's this? And then I get caught up in it, and I'm like, hey, man, this is all right. But if you ask me to try to find one of your movies, man, I'll be done messed the TV all up. But I don't like
it's all good. It's all good, and I thank you, man. Tell your family I said thank you too, man.
But I'm definitely gonna follow you. And one of the first things I said watching your clips, I said, this brother got to be from the street, because you are just too natural in your roles, man. I could tell there was some background there. That's just me, because me and my man Gooseby here, we grew up since we were young kids in the housing projects in Roxbury in the 70s. And we know a lot of guys like yourself, and hey, man, I commend you for actually saying what you did and where you're at right now, man. That lets people know that you could change in your life and you could create a better avenue for yourself.
Yeah. The whole thing, man. I used to do music too. I used to do DJ radio for Hot 107 back in Memphis, and at the same time, I was still involved in what I was involved in. Some people had a state of mind of like, this could be my way out to stop doing it. But, you get trapped in it and then hustle. And I think it's more of the hustle that you get, the enthusiasm and excitement from. And I'm talented as fuck, man. I'm sorry. I'm gifted as hell. And this was started to me as a young age, as a kid. But, just Memphis, period. You got 3 things to do in Memphis. Either you're going to sell dope, either you're going to pimp, or you're going to work at FedEx. Right. There's not a lot of resources in the city. So long story short, God gave me another opportunity, another chance to move somewhere that I didn't even know I was going to come to. I was already coming back and forth to Atlanta doing other stuff. But, God will put people in your life to put you where he wants you to be, then he'll remove them. you know.
Right.
So that right there alone is the one reason I came here. I didn't even come to do acting, and it just fell in my lap. And man, I've been blessed ever since. I took 40 background roles before I even got my first speaking role. So I knew, you know what I'm saying, this is something I wanted to do. Because, you know, when people say they want to do something, their first no, you'll stop doing it. Man, this is style to me. I don't quit. I know I'm great at whatever I put my hands on. So I knew what I was in for. And it's been times I want to quit. It gets hard. You want their support. You want your people to support you back home. You want your family to do it. But you got to realize you're a brand and business. And you can't sell to friends and family. You got to sell to strangers. So that's where my mindset at right now. And I do help a lot of people along the way too.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Now, you also had roles on Single Drunk Female on Hulu, the horror series on Them on FX, and also Tyler Perry's Straw. Talk to me about doing that role in Straw and also working with Tyler Perry. So, man, I had a line in that film. When I first got on set, I had already did Tears of a Hustler season 1, and it blew up. Right. So shouts out to Bruno Passions who got me that feature role. So I get on set. They was about to change me up. I supposed to play this Bob or whatever. And I get on set, and the security guard and some of the other backgrounds was like, "Oh, that's such and such. That's such." And they taking pictures with me. It's a crowd of people trying to take pictures, and Tyler Perry watching all this. He don't know me from whoever. You know what I'm saying? So he watching all this. I'm like, man, I hope this don't affect nothing. He come over and say, "And who are you?" I said, "I'm Michael James, man. I just do acting. I got a series on YouTube." It was like, "Oh, okay. People must know you. You must be good at what you do." I said, "I'm pretty good." So they gave me a line. I didn't even know what the movie was about, and I said the line, and we took like 2 takes of it because Tyler Perry was shoot quick. He got about 4 or 5 cameras to capture this all in one take, and get off the set. And as soon as it came out, I'm looking at my role. They pushing the camera on me, and man, they take my line off of it. I didn't make the cut, but I did get that extra paper, and I got that SAG credit money, and I got that credit on my IMDb. Hey man, I want to thank my mama, man, because she think I made it, Jack. You hear me? Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, man. Being in the radio business, I was a member of SAG as well, and Rich, you don't know the story, but back in the day, in my early days, right? So Spike Lee had a movie that he was working on here in Boston. It was on 9 Lansdowne Street. It was called My Heart Bleeds Loud. And this is when I was trying to do the acting thing. So I had a role. Yeah. I forget the guy's name from Grey's Anatomy, but he was in it. And I had a line. That's when we lost to the was it? No, wait a minute. No, the Giants was in the Super Bowl. This goes back to when they beat Buffalo.
Okay.
So I had this role. My one line was, the dude came into the club and he was like, "Yo, where's my money?" Because I lost the bet. And my line was, "Listen, man, I got you." It was a couple of, something like that. Listen, I got you, like that. But the movie never came out. It was one of those movies that never came out, but it was a Spike Lee joint. Now, the only thing I'll say, and you can help me out with this, what discouraged me from continuing was I wasn't ready for the hours. Man, it was like recording 5 a.m.
No, I know what you're talking about. Listen,
you wasn't.
I did my first background opportunity. My first background opportunity was on BET with Jill Scott and Ron Rico Lee and a lot of other people that's on this set, man. It was my first day, bro. And I was about to leave, man. The 5 hour, man, that 5 hour went over and they still wasn't using me. And I'm just sitting there, and this around COVID too. So we had the mask on. I'm getting irritated. I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time on set. You know, I was expecting a trailer in the makeup box. Man, you don't get none of that as background. So, man, about the 6 hours came, I said, man, I'm finna go. I'm finna roll, man. And they finally called us. I get on set, and she said, she just used me as an example of what I was wearing, and they kept me on set for 2 months. And that was it for me. I was like, okay, I'm here now. I'm here.
Yeah. I got discouraged and became a DJ.
Wow.
That's all right, though. That's all right. That's all right, though. You still do what you need to do, though, man. Right, no, hey, man, we got to stop planning and let God do the planning, man, because my plans don't be working the way I be thinking it's going to work.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow. It's so funny you and Steve are saying this because Steve, you remember years ago, we're from the same part of town. We actually know the guys personally. the New Edition, Bobby Brown, that whole crew. We grew up in
Yeah.
the same housing project those guys are from.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember years ago they shot a video back in the 90s on the basketball court.
Word to the mother.
Man, yeah, exactly, Steve.
Yeah.
We were all out there, man. You know, man, we were excited because they came back to shoot the video in this neighborhood we grew up in. Man, that's what gave me the first insight of videos and movies. Man, those guys was out there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They didn't leave till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I said, man,
Yeah,
people
man.
don't realize this is a lot of standing around, a lot of work. So what you just said, man, it's definitely a commitment.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
It is.
I couldn't do it. But you know,
It
it's
is.
funny. I look back now at what if I did, because there was guys on that set who had no names, and they all
Yeah.
in Hollywood today.
Yeah.
And, Keisha Campbell's ex-husband, Dwayne.
Yeah.
I worked. What was the movie? Above the Law, Against the Law. One of the scenes was shot in a hospital in Medford. I was a little stand-in on that, man. you know, but I just couldn't do the hours, man. But so you know, shout out to you, man, for hanging in there with those roles and getting all these opportunities, man. And we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Now you're in town this weekend. Saturday's
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. I know you said you got a movie called Secret Lover, so I'm sure there's a lot you can add to this event, man.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it's happening this Saturday, Boston Restaurant Bar and Grill.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk. What are you most looking forward? I know we have a bunch of people that are going to moderate and talk about this thing called love, man. What are some of the big issues with relationships that you can see, you know, especially within our culture?
I can't say it's no issue, man. It's like a journey. It's not a bad nor a good journey. It's a journey. And when you get involved with someone, you know what I'm saying, you got to be the best. And men, we simple. Respect. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. And a woman is the receiver. She wants to be shown protection. She wants to be shown love. She wants to be guided. She wants to be taught. And sometimes as men, we need to be taught at all times. There's things we still got to learn. But it's not even a good or bad thing. I think it's two people that really need to be honest with themselves first, and then and find a partner that accept your honesty about yourself, and they can be open with you. And you don't use that as a weapon when somebody become vulnerable to you. So it's a lot that I can discuss because I was dating a woman that was a part of this industry. You know what I'm saying? That didn't work out. Because of certain things, you know what I mean? And it's also some things about myself with my childhood and things of that nature that I needed to work out on my own. So it's really just about knowing who the hell you are, but you ain't gonna never know who the hell you are. At my age, bruh, I'm 45. And when I was 35, I wasn't thinking the same. You know what I'm saying? When I was 25, I wasn't thinking the same at 35. So on and so on. So you're going to get to knowing yourself even more every time. So you got to reintroduce yourself to the partner. And that partner got to be willing to accept your introduction and do the same.
Yeah, as we get older, we get wiser. That's for sure, man. Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. Respect, you know, that's a big part of the piece, which I feel like personally, I'm sure we'll discuss it if that comes up. Respect.
Shouts out to Phoenix, man. Shouts out to Phoenix Joy for that.
That's right. Shout out to Phoenix for sure, putting this event together. Her and I hosted it together, by the way. But I feel like a lot of women either they don't listen when we give them the answers to the quiz. You know what I mean? We give them the answers. We're being honest, but a lot of times you feel that way because of this or because of that. And, you know, how can you tell me how I feel? I'm telling you how I feel.
We men, we go off logic. Women go off emotions. So there's two different things right there. So somebody got to meet in between. But you got the first and foremost, man, get a relationship with the Most High. I don't care what you call them, just call on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your relationship with God, just have one. You need to get that first and then try to form something else with someone. But other than that, man, you know, if you ain't got that first, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. You don't have nothing. Nothing. And respect is so simple. The world, it can be so simple, but it's not built to be that way. You got to have conflict. But the thing is, treat someone how you would want to be treated. Case closed.
Yeah,
Case closed.
It's that simple. It really is. It's that simple.
And that covers all aspects of life. That covers all racial lines, all ethnic lines. That's really covers the whole world. And we would have a better world if people just treat people how they want to be treated.
Facts. But you know, everybody is not set to have a mentality of a most high. You know what I'm saying? You are a creator from the creator. You know what I'm saying? You're a creation and you can create, you can destroy the same thing. So you got to treat yourself that way and look at the next person that way. But everybody's not going to have that mindset. You got to have balance. I'm a Libra. So it's always going to be a balance. Good, bad, ugly, pretty, whatever the case may be, rain, sun, you know what I'm saying? Hot, cold, off, on, lights, dark, everything got to have an opposite. You know what I mean? So you just got to weave your way through this obstacle that we do call life. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with relationship, jobs, entrepreneurship, friendship, being a son to your mother, a father to your children, whatever the case may be, that all comes in one, and you got to find your way to work through this, man. And you just got to be real, bro. And if don't nobody want the real, get the hell out of my face.
That's right. Beat it. Take a hike.
People will accept a well-dressed lie rather than the naked truth because it's so naked.
Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. You're right.
But that's the reality, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy when you think about it. But you know what? We ain't gonna give away all the juice, man. You want to hear some more?
Good. I got more to say. I got a whole lot to say. I want to hear you get down there.
I know you do, man. Listen. We're going to have Fall in Love with Cocktails and Conversations this Valentine's Day, this Saturday. My guy, Michael James, will be there. I'm going to be there. Phoenix. We got a whole lovely panel for you. And we're going to have a conversation this Saturday. Steve Gooseby will be there from the Urban Heat. That's me, of course. Boston Restaurant, Bar and Grill in Hyde Park. And that's what it is, man.
I can't wait to get up there, man. You know, last time I was up there was with Lil White from 3-6 Mafia and Frazier Boy, and Lil Infamous, rest his soul. And we was on tour, so I actually get a chance to actually see the city and meet the people and kick it. So I can't wait to get up there, man. Little country boy South, Memphis South, you know what I'm saying? Myself up there in the north and the east is love, man. So I'm ready to get up there, man.
I tell you this, just bring your coat. Bring your coat.
Oh, I ain't worried about this. My weather. This is my weather, man. I love this cold, man.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Just want you to be prepared, man. But listen, thank you for joining us, man. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thank you for having
me. Yes, sir. Much success to you and your family, man.
Make sure y'all go check out Through the Hallway. It's on Remy Network right now, directed by Keyboard Money Mike. And go check out Best Friend Patriots. The Price of Love is on Tubi. Check out 267 is out right now on Prime. And get ready for Secret Lovers, Charlotte's Web, When Worlds Collide. Man, it's a whole bunch, man. Taking Chances. A lot of movies about to drop, and a lot of movies I'll be filming.
Man, I'm definitely following you now, man.
Yeah. Now, where can folks follow you, too, by the way?
Man, you can go on IG, Michael James _presents, MICHAEL. And you can go to Facebook, Michael Sewell, SEWELL. So just hit me up, man. It's all love, man. Show love. I show love back, man.
Mm-hmm. You were saying something, Rich?
No, I'm just glad that I watched it, like I said, a couple of your movies, and I'm glad to speak to you, brother. And now, hey, man, I'm definitely gonna be locked in on all your stuff now, man.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you, man. Go check out Tears of a Hustler 3, 2, and 1. Get ready for 4. It's a whole lot. I'm also nominated for 5 awards, really just 2. But I'm gonna say 5 because I'm nominated for Best Actor from Best Friend Patriots. I'm nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Through the Hallway. Best Picture, She Likes to Watch, written and directed by Robbie World. Best Assembled Cast is Tears of a Hustler. Taking Chances, Through the Hallway, When Worlds Collide, She Likes to Watch, and Best Series, Tears of a Hustler, Taking Chances, The Client, and it's another one, Don't.
I don't know why that one stood out for me. She likes to watch.
She likes to watch. And we're doing the premiere on the 17th, man. Shouts out to Robbie World and the whole 236 over there, man.
Got you. Hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Man, thank you, man, for having me, man. Boston, I'll see y'all this weekend, man.
All right, we'll see you then, man. Yep. Yes, sir. That was Michael James Sewell Jr., the award-winning actor, producer, rising force in the film industry. He'll be here this weekend for Valentine's Day. Again, we got an event going on, which I'll be hosting along with Phoenix Fire. We got a great panel. Come on down, Valentine's Day. I believe she's selling tables and all kinds of stuff. So you can go on Eventbrite and get your tickets for that, man. Should be a great event. But yeah, let's get back into these New England Patriots, man. Oh, man. Again, I could take a loss, Rich. I can definitely take a loss. But the way they lost, and I guess that's the issue with any type of loss. How did you lose?
Yeah, that's true, Steve. This is our worst loss since 1986, the Bears. And I remember, Steve, you remember that Super Bowl against the Bears? I really didn't think we was going to win because that Bears defense was relentless. I was just happy. New England Patriots, Steve, we grew up in the 70s, man. We was just happy back in the 70s when we made the playoffs in 76, 77, 78. We was mostly one and done until I think it was 77 or 76. The phantom pass interference call where we should have went to the Super Bowl that year. But Steve, for years, man, we were just happy as New England Patriots fans to get in the playoffs. Then 1986, we went against the Bears and the refrigerator, Walter Payton, and all those guys. And Steve, we knew we didn't have a chance against that Bears defense that year, man. We were just happy to beat the Miami Dolphins. We hadn't won in the Orange Bowl since 1967. But yeah, man, you fast forward to 1996 with Drew Bledsoe. We had a shot against Green Bay that year.
Yep.
Bill Parcells kind of already had one foot out the door. I still believe he didn't put his whole heart into winning that Super Bowl. We had a shot.
Right.
But yeah, Steve. Yeah, this is our worst loss. This is our worst loss since 1986 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that Bears loss as a kid, man. That wasn't even a game. That was just terrible, man. Terrible. Yeah. They dominated every aspect of that game. But again, I could take losing. It's just how they lost. I feel like the left side, the coaches did not do anything to fix that. It wasn't a new problem for them during the playoffs.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was a problem you had in your first 3 playoff games, including the AFC Championship game, and you did nothing to fix it. And the guy that you had replace him during the season when he got hurt, he was playing. First of all, Campbell was playing well up until that. He wasn't having those issues. He wasn't perfect, but he wasn't getting beat the way he's been beat throughout the playoffs. Go ahead, Rich. 1 second. I got to get this real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Yep.
What I think was, Steve, one of the problems was that Mike Vrabel played this game. He wanted this game to stay close, great defense, and try to win it in the fourth quarter, hopefully with someone like Sam Darnold making a mistake with an interception. I think that was Mike Vrabel's whole thing, and I think what happened between the offensive line on the left side collapsing so much, they weren't able to maintain that closeness of keeping the game close. I think the Patriots felt like their defense was just as good as the Seattle Seahawks defense. That's what I believe personally. And actually in the game, if you look at it, our defense was actually just as good as their defense in that game. Offensively is where we lost the game. One of the questions I want to put for you, Steve, do you think Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels stayed too conservative in the game?
I don't think it was about
that's what some national people think that, Steve. I had that feeling, Steve, personally, as a longtime Patriot fan.
Yeah.
I think we tried to keep the game we wanted to keep the game close. We were happy that we gave up 4 field goals. And I thought that Mike Vrabel was playing the game to keep it close and try to win it in the fourth quarter. And, Bill Belichick's been known to do that. Ball control, keep the game close, because there's a theory out there, and Bill Belichick used that. Last week, Steve, or 2 weeks ago when we had Kyle Arrington on, do you remember him saying, Bill Belichick said in most games, big games, the other team loses the game more times than you win it?
Right. You're right about that. Well, I feel like, because of that left side, they didn't have control of their offense. They didn't have control of their plays. I don't think it was about being conservative. I think it was about doing what you could do with what you had going on.
Yeah.
Now you can go on with a game. Let's say your game plan is run. They got the weak side is on the left, right? And the
Yes.
game plan is to go left all game because that's where they're weak. And then come game day, because that team had that problem on the left side, they fix it. What do? You got to make adjustments. We didn't make adjustment to the biggest problem that we had, not just that game, but throughout the playoffs. So I don't even think it was about, before you could talk about them being conservative. What's in that playbook that's broken in order for you to make that play happen? And you don't fix that, how are you going to get the playoff? The play's not going to work.
Yeah.
If you got 5 branches to a tree and you need all 5 branches to execute, and one of those branches break,
Well, the thing is, I'm looking at the game, Steve. I believe it was around the beginning of the fourth quarter when we got the first touchdown down the field. Made it 19-7.
Yep.
Then we quick 3 and out. We get the ball back. We're driving. I felt like we had finally unlocked something with their defense. I felt Josh McDaniels finally saw something. We were moving the ball.
Right.
Unfortunately, Drake threw that interception. I thought we waited too long to make the adjustments. If we had made them
talking to that mic a little bit more, Rich.
If we had made the adjustments at the beginning, Steve, of the third quarter, it would have gave us more of a chance to win. In the fourth quarter, we unlocked a little something, Steve. We started moving that ball. We started moving guys around. And if you remember, Drake got into a little rhythm, even though he still missed some guys on a couple of big chunk plays downfield. We unlocked something, but Drake just took too much of a chance. He tried to get it all back at once on that pass.
Well, as I said earlier, I felt you're right. It looked like, first of all, it was a winnable game. We was in the game, but when he got in that rhythm, what did Seattle do? They rushed the left side again.
Yeah, made him and force him to throw a quick pass.
And again,
and quick passes always. Anytime you force a quarterback, you speed his brain up. You're gonna always be in a position.
He wasn't even in position for his first read. So
yeah,
I blame the coaches on that. I don't blame Drake at all. I think when you're coaching a team and you have a team, you got to put them in the best position to win. They didn't do that.
Yeah, I thought, Steve, when we were driving in the fourth quarter, when it was 19-7 before he threw the interception, I thought we should have dink and donk all the way down the field. I thought we shouldn't have went down for the chunk play because he didn't have enough time to make the read. So we should have just kept throwing the short passes and give our running backs or our wide receivers a chance to run with the ball.
But also, if you look at how their defense was set up, the dink and dunk might have worked to a certain point. You can't do that the whole way the way their defense was set up.
But the way when they're sending a whole house at you, Steve, if you get that quick pass right there, you got a lot of space out there. Then
coaching,
yes, you got a lot of space out there.
All right, Rich, we're gonna come back to the Patriots in a second. We do got a special guest, so I'm gonna get them situated, folks. Give me about 3 to 5 minutes or less, and we'll be right back. Urban Heat. R&B Vibes.
Here's some fresh R&B
on iHeartRadio.
What do you say?
Yep. R&B Talk. My name is Steve Gooseby, and we do have a special guest, and his name is Jude. So we want to welcome him in the building, and you're from the probation office, right?
I work for the Massachusetts Probation Service. Yes, the training division.
Got you. Let me bring you up real quick, Rich. 1 second here, Rich. Okay, I got you up, Rich.
Yep.
I do hear an echo. Boom. I should be gone. There we go. Yep. And let me turn your mic on. It's how we do it. We improv up in here, right?
Then we figure it out.
There we go. I think you're good now, Rich. Say something.
Oh, we all here, right?
We hear you, man.
Yep.
There we go. Now his name is Rich Sports, not Steve Gooseby. You see his name. You see his name up there. It says Steve. That's because he's using my computer. But anyways, man, tell me about what you guys got going on, Jude.
Yes, sir. So we are having a gala on March 14th, and it's kind of going to be our signature event. Man, and I'm excited for it, my brother. I'm super excited for it. It's something. It took a long time coming, but we here.
Okay. So when is the gala?
Gala's March 14th. It's going to be in Bellingham, Mass. Our organization, we team up with a lot of Black-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the gala is going to be at a Black-owned business, a wedding venue that a good buddy of mine has. So he was able to kind of make that plug and make that connection work. I have a group of family that I call. They're the owners for TSV Vodka, so they'll be sponsoring a 2-hour open bar. So yeah, get there from 7 to 9. You know, you gotta get them in early. So
hey, listen, not 1 hour, 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. But
2 hours.
On all SV Vodka products, they'll sponsor you for the first 2 hours open bar. Then we'll have DJ H, which is one of the hottest young DJs in the city. Yeah, man, it's just a night of celebration, a night of kind of acknowledging who we are as an organization and what we have done to the community.
And on top of all that is Black History Month.
Yeah, man, we gotta represent for the culture.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the organization, though.
All right, so
what you guys about?
So the National Association for Blacks in Criminal Justice has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right, their doors opened in I think it was like 1977, 1978. Really largely known in the South. Really heavily known in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I am a public speaker as well, national trainer. And I was chosen by this organization, the National Association, to go speak at their banquet. I went down there and let me tell you something. I was like, no, this doesn't exist. Because, you know, when you work in these spaces in government or in state or in these spaces of where in public service, you don't see your people. You don't see our people.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
And then when you do see our peoples, it gets to the point where sometimes you struggle to be like, what up, though? Like you struggle because it's the space.
Yeah, right.
And then I went to their national conference and bro, it was like, come here, young blood. Like they don't know me from a hole in the wall. Hey, nephew, come here, nephew. I heard you speaking. What you speaking about, nephew? I'm like, okay, Unc. I'm Jude. We know who you are. We saw you on the paper. It was that type of environment. And
I love that too.
I bought into it.
I love that.
Especially coming in a field where I don't see a lot of men that look like me in the positions that have sort of influence.
Mm-hmm.
So like in my position, I sort of have influence. I'm on a team that's responsible for training all 1,800 staff of the Massachusetts Probation Service.
Mm-hmm.
So that's influence. So how I would deliver a training will be very different than how somebody else might deliver a training.
Right.
Same material, spoken very differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's influence. So there's not too many people that I've seen that look like me that move the way I move in these positions of influence. And I understand there's a lot of politics behind it, and that is what it is. But when I went to NABJA, when I went to their national conference, it seemed like everybody was like, yeah, this man, he worked in the Obama administration. He's the one screaming, nephew, come here, let me talk to you. See what I'm saying? Like it was just a completely different vibe where it was status went down and it was like, how do we get together like a community?
Right.
So before I ended up leaving, they talked me into opening up a chapter.
Wow. Now, do you guys get private funding or public funding?
We fundraise everything.
So there's no public funding.
Yeah, if you want to donate, good sir, the website is www.
When I say public, I mean like government funding.
No, everything we everything comes from the heart. If we want it, we got to go get it. You know, and that's kind of that was the funny thing about when I first opened this. I had very specific questions because I wanted to have some type of creativity over it. Because, you know, I don't know how this works. Y'all the National Association, there's 32 other chapters already in the country.
Right.
I don't know how this works, you know. So the two things that I was requesting is, do I have content control? And how much of this is the give or take to you all? You know, once we got established, and they were kind of like, listen, this is yours.
Right.
You do what you want with it. There's a certain rules that needs to happen, but other than that, it's yours. Oh, listen, it was over. I was like, we created our own individual logo. We are a board of millennials, not just the typical millennials, neither. Like, we're of the city, we're of the culture. We're like grannies, we're grandma's babies. We are the people that made it places in state, local governments. We have nurse practitioners, we have people from academia and the college and teachers that are all now sit on the board to talk about how we deal with professional development, how we deal with training, how do we socialize, because we get into a point where clubs ain't it no more. So now we get into a point where I want to go out and be social, but I want to have meaningful experiences. Right. So how do we do that, and how do we give that to the community? And we became that resource.
So you also have social workers on your board too?
Oh man, listen, we have a therapist, we have a life skills coach, we have assistant chief probation officers. We have, our board is made of 10 people, but our reach and our membership and our subscribers or anyone, no matter the race. I know the name of the organization, it triggers certain people because it's the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice. Right. However, we welcome all that support the mission of.
So you do have diversity.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, listen, in forward progress and in forward motion, it's to be stagnant to continue to think that we can do it alone.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I asked you about the government funding, because, you know, this current administration.
Oh yeah, it's been tough.
It's all about cutting stuff. Right. And this is something that I think they should put money into, especially in the inner cities. Instead of attacking crime, let's try to save some of these inner city kids before they get to that point, and put money in the programs and everything.
Yeah, I mean that it gets really dicey when because everything has a cost to it. Yes. And now we need to justify this cost for an environment or a community that has been showing lack of progress, right? Yes. So you have to justify that. So we're an organization that we don't need to justify because we're from that community. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are an organization where you can pull up to our event and it'll be the Chief Justice of Chelsea District Court sitting right next to you with a drink in his hand, and he's watching the same speaker you're speaking about public crisis in Dorchester, or economic diversity or social diversity. Like, we are an organization that is a resource that actually puts people from the community with the influencers in spaces that most of us can't reach. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I look at my circle of friends, I'm very fortunate to have my circle of friends, despite my upbringing. But then my circle of friends, I can reach out to somebody that can literally get me an interview with a state senator. I have a circle of friends that if I needed to get on the phone with somebody that can get me in contact with somebody from the White House, I have somebody that can do that in my circle of friends. My mentor is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, now that I have that, I kind of feel some type of way, because I still go to River Street for Sunday dinners. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still in the community. So and my family knows to reach out to me when it comes to specific questions, criminal justice, police activity, you know what I'm saying, social justice. They know to reach out to me. And I just now want to be that with everyone else. But I'm a millennial though.
It's funny because sometimes people look at you differently than how you see yourself.
Oh yeah.
So like you just said, you know, you still go and have dinner on River Street. You know, I remember one time when I first went to Walmart, right? I ran
Which Walmart?
Quincy.
All right, cool. I get it.
Okay. When I first went to Walmart, right? I ran into someone that I knew there, and it was like, "You shop here?" I was like, "Huh? What the hell? This is Walmart. What the?" But you know what I mean?
There's this thing about that though. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. I call it the Matrix. Like when I train on this, I call it the Matrix. Right. There's a belief system that's put in play that when we make it out of certain spaces, that we're above and beyond. Right. And then that belief system it contradicts a completely separate belief system, right? Glass half empty, glass half full. You have a completely separate belief system that believes that when we make it out and we try to come back, we're not wanted.
Mm-hmm.
People go, "Oh, look at you know, leave it to him to bring the expensive bottle." No, brother, it has nothing to do with expense. We're celebrating. I figured you would want something nicer.
Yeah.
Right. But then so you got that glass half empty, glass half full. The good thing about Boston Abja is we juggle that because we're all of that. We're of that caliber, right? We're Granny's baby that Granny prayed on. That, you know what I'm saying? We did what we need to do, and now we in a tax bracket where we don't get the government assistance.
Hey, you know what's funny? So Rich, after you making that statement, it just reminded me when Moms moved us out of the projects.
Yeah.
You remember what happened when I came back?
Yeah, you wasn't accepted.
See what I'm
Yo,
saying?
listen. When Moms, check it out. When we moved out of the projects, I came back to hang out, man. They chased me out the projects, man.
You don't belong. like you don't belong no more. Like, you know, it took a little bit.
Man, we got chased out the projects.
That
was funny as hell, man.
It took a little bit because I went through it my whole life, bro. Because I, you know, typical story: West Indian parents, dad left around 7, 8 years old, grew up hard-headed, did things. You know what I'm saying? Like typical. I grew up River Street, Matabang.
Right. Yeah.
So I did everything that you would expect me to do with the resources that I had. And then, you know, eventually I caught on. I went to, my parents are big on education, like immigrants, you know, they can think anything they want, but they cannot take your education. You know what I'm saying? They can take anything they want, but they can't take your knowledge type. So that became kind of like a driving force. So then I got into criminal justice. I did my undergrads at LaSalle University, and then I did my master's at Purdue University. So
LaSalle, that's in Newton.
That's in Newton. Yeah, it was LaSalle College, and then it turned into LaSalle.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated college 2010.
Oh, okay. So did you ride the Green Line?
Nah, I was driving.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was driving. Yeah, the Green Line was right there.
I drove that Green Line for years, man. I just thought maybe you was on my train a few times, man.
I mean, if it was going into the, I was driving.
Out the riverside. Okay,
I was driving.
A lot of people was jumping on that.
I was definitely jumping, but I wasn't jumping in. That's too far. That's too far. But then I from college, I went straight to I moved to Arizona and I joined the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
Yep. Because, you know, Massachusetts is funny. Massachusetts will only hire people with experience.
Yeah.
But won't give you the experience to be hired.
What's that county again?
Maricopa. I was a Phoenix.
Wow, that county is kind of famous, man, for the elections, man. I remember that name right off the bat. You just said that. Yeah, wow, that county determines the elections a lot of times, man.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Move. And the choice was I wanted the experience. And it's like, listen, I'm in Massachusetts where we're in the #1 region for education. When I graduate here, I'm gonna be small fish in big pond.
Yeah.
So I kind of did the research early and found the states where my bachelor's degree is meaningful. Like, because it is what it is. There are just certain states where education, I don't want to say isn't the priority, but there are certain states that have a very superior educational system.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? And there's certain states that just don't. And I wanted to make myself marketable in a place where, you know, my degree, I speak multiple languages, my experience can all put me as big fish.
Yeah.
And that was just happened to be one of the ones that I chose. Plus, it doesn't snow in Arizona. And winters, I'm in a pool, and I was across the country, and Mexico was right there, and Vegas was right there, and I was 22 years old when I graduated college. So you know what? I chucked up my deuces to New England for a little bit.
Okay.
But then I ended up moving back a couple years later. I went straight into DYS, right on Harvard Street. I went right back to the neighborhood.
Wow. Okay.
And I started there as a supervisor. After that, I left, completed my master's, and went into the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department right on Nashua Street. I was there for a couple years. I left that and then became a probation officer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know what, man? You know, I'm just meeting Jude for the first time, by the way, y'all. And you got great energy. I don't know if you ever thought about it, but you could run for office, man.
Nah, man. Nah, don't want those problems. Nah. See, I'm good. I know my lane, and my lane is I'm a community guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the peoples. Put me outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, I love that my vision is something that's shared. Like, again, just being in the space right now. Like, yo, when we start talking about social justice or criminal justice, how many times can you be like, yo, I know a guy?
Right.
Not nobody from the barbershop.
Now, Steve, what's the judge that just passed away?
Judge Leslie E. Harris.
Dorchester Court, right? Dorchester Court.
Well, he was in Roxbury. He retired in Roxbury.
I was about to say he retired.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? But like,
did you ever cross paths with him?
No.
Okay.
But when you start thinking about, there's far few in between that you will actually know in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Because we might have them in our families, but when we go out, how many people go? Yo, don't let nobody know I work. Don't let nobody know I do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think with this organization, it was definitely something that I wanted to have like a wholehearted stamp on the theme and the aggression of it. Like we are big on professional development. So we had our conference for the first time last February, and we had about 330 people to show up. We had a DJ at our conference because you know what I'm saying? Like when you walk into a space, again, we talked about, you don't really see us.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, our organization is going to be largely cultural. What does culture mean, right? Because people there's this notion that we have white people that come to the national conference. Don't get me wrong, the numbers are very reversed. Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. But there are white people that are at the national conference. There will be white people that will be at our gala. Right. It's just there's for people to think that this is solely just African Americans. There are organizations for that, but in our space, or the space of people that work in these communities, that support these communities, we are more than just Black. You have Latino, you have Irish immigrants, you got Polish immigrants. I'm Haitian. Me and Poland people, we like this. They helped us win the war. That freed the rest of the world. So like to think the notion that this is solely just Black. There are organizations for it. This just ain't that one. Like we accept everybody. We welcome all that support the mission of furthering the equity and the development of our communities. We are a resource to our communities. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you service our community, if you work in our community, if you are a leader in our community, or if you're a community member that just want to know Jude David, program manager from the Massachusetts Probation Service, let me go ask him, because I got a friend that might be serving time, but I know where to find people that I can trust. I'm gonna go to Boston NABJA.
Okay, there you go. Sounds good, man. Tell the folks about the event once again.
So our gala, it is our annual gala. It is our first gala. We are celebrating 3 years. It took 3 years to do this because we fundraise everything. So it took 3 years to do it. Please come celebrate. Come check out who we are. Come support. Come dance. Come be merry with our sponsors. And we hope to see you all there.
All right. And give them, you was about to give the website earlier.
Yes. So the website, bostonnabja.org. So it's www.bostonnabcj.org. Our Instagram is BOSNABCJ, Boss NABJA. And if you're looking to find me, I am very easy to find. Right. My Instagram handle is I am Jude David. That's it.
Right.
Very easy to find.
All right, good stuff. Well, I'm glad you came in, man. A little impromptu, but hey, man.
I appreciate you.
You handled that very well. Give it up one time for Jude, y'all, and I hope you support the event. Maybe I might even pop in, man.
Pull up on us. Pull up on us.
All right, man. Thanks again, bro.
I appreciate
We'll be right back, folks. Give us another 3 minutes.
I want you to move in the space with me tonight. I do.
All right. Yeah. You happy, girl? Are you happy now? Hey, this weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, I'm hosting an event with Phoenix Fire, Fall in Love with cocktails and conversations happening at the Boston Restaurant Bar and Grill. Come on down, bring your lady or come single. There'll be some single people in the building too. And we're just going to be talking about conversations about love, man, you know, in relationships and things like that, man. You know, a topic that just won't go away because, you know, if you ain't in one, you're trying to get in one, right?
Everybody needs somebody.
Everybody needs love, even if it's yourself. Right? All right. Again, it is Black History Month, as I said earlier. You know, in honoring our history, if you didn't know the late Judge Leslie E. Harris, they're trying to name one of the courthouses, you know, with his name. And so State Rep Chris War, I thought he was going to call in, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let me just give you some of the information I can tell you and that I know as of now. It's a bill, and the number on that bill is actually on the flyer that's on the screen now. It's HD.55. Wait a minute, let me start over. HD.5558 and SD.3598. Now, I don't know how you know, can support that bill with those numbers, but I would just call the State House, right, and say you want to support the bill. What do you need to do? They're trying to name, I believe it's Dorchester Court. They want to change to Judge Leslie E. Harris Courthouse, which I think is a fabulous thing because, again, he was very prominent in the community. I mean, he changed a lot of lives, whether you worked in the courthouse, whether you was an attorney, even some of the folks in probation. I would bet he had impact on some of those people's lives, a lot of families. He turned a lot of people in Roxbury Court, which is where he retired from before he passed. I remember, when attending his wake, this individual came up and spoke, and he was a guy that actually came through the courthouse. I can't remember what he did as far as the crime, but somehow, some way, there was a conversation between him and Judge Harris. He got himself together, came back, and he's been a model citizen ever since, man. So he touched a lot of lives, whether you were on the wrong side of the law or whether you was on the right side of the law. He did that professionally, and again, just, helped a lot of families, just had a real good heart in general.
Yeah, he was all about giving people a second chance, especially if you went in there for like issues like substance abuse. He always tried to push you into some type of program to help you. That was his main thing.
Right.
He was one of those guys. He didn't feel like everyone should be sentenced, as to jail for jail time.
Right.
If you're constantly in his courtroom for some type of substance abuse issue, he would always recommend some type of treatment program.
Right. And there was no in between with him. It was good and it was bad. You know what I mean?
I never met him, but what I was told, he would tell you, you're going to the substance abuse program and I don't want to see you again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yep, miss my guy, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get back into those. Man, I know folks might be a little. Well, it's only Tuesday. The Super Bowl was Sunday. I remember going back when the Patriots lost to the Giants. This isn't on that level of the undefeated season.
Which time, Steve?
The first time.
Oh man, both of them was the first time. The undefeated season was the hardest for me.
Yeah.
I thought we was going to get redemption in the second Super Bowl, and then Mario Manningham made that great catch along the sidelines.
Listen,
both times they put together 80-something yard drives in the last couple of minutes where our defense did not stop them.
Listen.
And you know what, Steve? The fact that we have 6 Super Bowls kind of alleviates some of that pain. But yeah, Steve, man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm okay today with the Patriots. Not with them losing, but we were so ahead of schedule. And you know what? It would have been great if we won. I wish we would have had a better showing in that game. But I think it'll get these guys motivated. We actually have a very young team, Steve.
Right, we do.
And this was great experience for these guys,
I remember the first loss with the Giants. I was at Mom's house, and when after that loss, that was the one game I can tell you emotionally I was hurt.
Yeah,
I was hurt. I almost left Mom's house without saying bye to Mom's.
Well, Steve,
and she was like, "Steve,
just losing,
my
away
fault,
with the David Tariq catch,
Yeah,
that was, that was the thing." But this team here, Steve, oh man, I was so proud of this team, how they played all season. Seattle just attacked our weakest link on the team.
They did what we would have did.
That was our weakest link, Steve.
Yeah.
And we wasn't able to make the adjustments in time. We didn't make no adjustments and start moving the ball to the beginning of the fourth quarter. And Steve, if we could have kept them off the board and kept that lead at 12, imagine if it was 12-7 and we was moving that ball back then. We wasn't able to keep them. Our defense played so well, Steve. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Our defense played. I don't even count. They scored 29. I still feel like our defense only gave up 12 points, Steve. Only for the fact that Drake May fumbled the ball. That resulted in a touchdown, and he threw a pick 6. So actually, Steve.
And the pick 6 resulted in a touchdown.
Yeah, Steve. So I really think our defense only gave up 12 points, if you think about it. That's the way I felt about it.
That's true.
So, yeah, Steve, it was a great season. And not only do we have Super Bowl hangover, I think most people have football hangover.
Yeah, so now we got the Celtics, though, and the Celtics are doing good. So don't sleep on the Celtics. I think Tatum's coming back.
Well, did you hear the latest yesterday,
the latest?
Steve? Oh, he worked out with the Celtics G League team yesterday at the Auerbach Center. The Auerbach Center right off of the Mass Pike.
Yep.
Yeah, he worked out yesterday with the G League team. And Steve, I'm gonna be honest, the trade they just made last week for
They're getting ready for Tatum.
For the center from Chicago, guys averages about 17 points, 9 rebounds. Nikolai Vukovic, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We traded Anthony Simons for him, which was a good move because Simons, he was averaging 15 points a game off the bench, but there just wasn't enough minutes for him consistently to be the player. And we needed a big guy, and we got a guy now in the middle that could score.
And it was a good move for Chicago as well.
Oh, yeah. And he had an expiring contract. So we got a big guy that can give us some points and rebounds now. Our offensive big guy.
Yep.
Now, Steve, we're second. We're tied with the Knicks, second in the East. Probably the 4th best record, I believe, in the NBA right now, which is amazing. And to me, Jaylen Brown is top 2 MVP candidate right now.
But he won't win because of the other stuff. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, but yeah, Steve, Tatum worked out with the G League team yesterday, so that's great news. I really think, personally, Steve, I think he's coming back. I think late in the season, maybe with 15 or 20 games ago.
Right, I agree with that.
Yep.
Just jumping back to the NFL real quick, I want to talk about. Did you hear about the can't remember the type of tax it is.
They call it the jock tax.
Yeah. So basically, football teams, even baseball teams,
all professional sports teams, really.
Right. When they play a game in your city or state, wherever, they have to pay that tax, a jock tax or whatever they call it. They have to pay that. And each state is different in terms of the percentage. But I bring this up because Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, he's in the red from having to pay that tax. Now, I don't know how that happened, but each player gets a certain amount of money for just being in the Super Bowl. Of course, the winning team gets more than the losing team. But so the money he got from the Super Bowl, he has to pay tax on that. The money he got from the 2 times a year that he plays the Raiders. Is it the Raiders? No, the Rams. Then what's the other team over there? San Francisco.
San Francisco, yes.
So the amount of taxes, I don't have the actual number, but if you look it up, the amount of taxes that he has to pay exceeds what he made, which is crazy. I don't understand that.
Yeah, a lot of fans don't know about this jock tax. So
and I'm sorry, and I say that because at that point, okay, yeah, I want to win the Super Bowl, but if it's going to cost me money, why is it costing me money to play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, Steve, so that's amazing when you think about that. That just lets you know.
Yeah.
We're never gonna get away from taxes, because if you think about it, Steve,
taxes and death, they say it all
that's
the time.
Right. So the way that works, Steve, every city that a professional athlete plays in, let's take the NBA, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, all 32 NBA teams, well, say 31 cities that they play in during the season, Steve, they have to actually pay for that night or that day they're in that team, that 24 hours. They pay taxes for playing in. They actually worked in that town, any town you work in. So you think about it. A guy makes $60 million. People don't realize. They say, "Oh, the guy made $60 million." By the time you finish with taxes in your own city and state, every city you play in, I saw a breakdown once. You probably come away with half of that $60 million that you made in agent fees.
Right, after taxes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, hey, man, shout out to every professional athlete that gets a check. The one who I think it hurts the most, Steve, is the guys that ain't only making $2 or $3 million. Imagine paying taxes in every town.
Yeah.
When you're only making $2 or $3 million, and by the time the season's over, you probably clear $1.5 million.
It's highway robbery.
Yeah, then you have then that's why they always tell the guys at the end of the bench or the guys at the end of, whether it's football, basketball, don't try to live like the guys that's making the big money.
Mm-hmm. And you know, this goes to a story about you know, not to switch. We're gonna stay in this lane, but I want to bring up. You heard of the artist Glorilla, right?
Yes. So
Glorilla has a sister that's been trending all over the internet and all over social media. She comes from, and I'm gonna use the word broken home because I'm thinking about what's the movie with Eddie Murphy back in the day?
Coming to America?
No, where he was a bum on the side and they cleaned him up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
And, you know, I say Broken Home because the guy said that's how he looked at Eddie during that time, the role he was playing. So she comes from a broken home. She said it herself, man. They live with the rats and the roaches, eating beans on the floor and roaches popping out of the cereal. She talked about all of that. And so Glorilla, to her sister is super duper rich, right? But she really isn't. But that's what she is seeing, the images on social media, and she's dating a ball player. Again, that's his money, not hers. But now she is a millionaire. I don't know how many times, but let's just say
this is her sister we're talking about.
This is her sister that's worth millions of dollars. And so her sister's got to be worth, if I had to guess without even looking, I would say 2, maybe 3 million. Maybe I'd be surprised if she's worth 5. She should be worth at least 5 million, but I'm going to say 2 or 3, right? So her sister, there's jealousy, of course. You can tell by the way she talks. But
is the Eddie Murphy movie Changing Places?
Changing Places.
Changing Places.
Yep.
Okay.
Trading Places.
Trading Places. Trading Places. There we go.
That's the movie. So her sister feels that she's entitled to some of Glorilla's money. So the folks at TMZ interviewed her and they asked her, well, how much money do you think you're entitled to or you should get? And she said $2,500.
$2,500 a week, a month?
No, she said each of them should get $2,500, a one-time payment. And so
just $2,500.
That's what she said. So everybody laughed at that, like, yo, that's it. Come on, you're crazy, right? And she's making a lot of money now because now she's getting all these people who want to interview her and they're paying her. So so she's making the money that she was looking for. But I only say that because, you know, a lot of times when the people that are in other people's pockets don't understand how money works. And when you're living that $1 million lifestyle, it's almost like you really don't have $1 million at times because, and it all depends on how you're living. If you're driving 3-4 fancy cars and you're living in a 5-bedroom house, you know, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, well, you got to heat that. You got to, there's maintenance that comes with all of that, you know, insurance, taxes. So if you're living that lifestyle, that money is going out for that lifestyle. But there are a lot of athletes that live within their means. They don't go out and buy. Like, I don't think, you know, I could hit the Powerball, right? I don't want to live in an 18-bedroom mansion.
I don't need that many rooms.
I don't not just that I don't need that many rooms, and I know I can hire a maid to clean it, but like, what do I don't need that.
That's a lot. That's a lot of space. You know, it's a lot of space.
For me, it'll be something very, 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 very nice, right? But I don't need a 10,000, 5, you know, maybe 5 could work, or maybe 4,000 square feet, you know. But you know, her being in her sister's pockets, if her net worth is only $2 to $3 million, that's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money.
She's not rich.
Well, Steve, let me ask you this. How many athletes, especially professional NFL football players, that's why they push for a big signing bonus up front. How many athletes we see go broke? We read about filing for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. Guys end up broke. Some guys end up broke and destitute and become homeless again, Steve. That's happened. Charles Barkley says it all the time. He says, listen, you can help your family out once or twice, but you can't do it over and over again. He said, if you keep giving away money, the quick story, Grant Hill. He talked to Grant Hill's mother and father. His father was Calvin Hill, played for the Dallas Cowboys, great wide receiver. Mm-hmm. He said he met his mother and father once at an event, and they said, we got to leave. And Charles said, why are you guys rushing? They said, oh, we got to go to work tomorrow. Charles said, what you mean go to work? He said, man, you're Calvin Hill. You played in the NFL. He said, listen, Charles, if you better learn to stop giving away all your money.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we don't live off Grant's money. Grant might help us out, but we don't look forward to Grant's money. He said, your son is Grant Hill. He has just signed a big contract with Orlando Magic. He said, listen, we can't live off Grant's money. We're still providing for ourselves. And Charles said that gave him a rude awakening. And they told Charles, listen, you keep making money, but you can't take care of all your family members. You can help them, but you can't make them rely upon your income. So that's what you're saying, Steve.
Right. You got to understand money and how it works. Now, I'm sure Grant Hill is not just leaving them out there to dry.
Oh,
and,
no,
and
most
they're
definitely.
working sweat and tears. They're not doing that. I'm sure they're working comfortably and they're living comfortably, but they're just not going to stop working.
That's right.
Now, you know, it's crazy that I learned this later in life, but I learned, and everyone should know this, especially if you're in the NBA, you got to learn how to make your money work for you.
Most definitely.
You know, if you're making those millions of dollars, and I don't care how comfortable you are, right? If you're making millions and you're not flipping that millions, if you're not going to bed, sleep, dreaming, whatever you're dreaming, and wake up the next morning and don't got a few more dollars, and you have the dollars to do that, then you're not doing something right. You change your financial advisor.
Well, let's look at Scottie Pippen and Antoine Walker. Both guys made well over $100 million. Both guys have had financial problems. So, I mean, Antoine Walker, I saw him signing autographs. And that's one of the things, Steve. I don't know if you know this, just like Pete Rose. Anytime you see a guy signing autographs to get paid, the real prominent athletes, you're never going to see Tom Brady and those guys and Shaq signing autographs for money. Antoine Walker, those guys are signing autographs. And that's one of the things that you're saying, Steve.
Well,
you have to invest your money because most guys retire, Steve, at 35 years old.
Right.
Some people are not starting their work career if you come out of medical school in debt until you're 35 years old.
Yeah. Now, how do you think people like Jordan, even Shaq, I don't know what his net worth is, but if it wouldn't surprise me if he became a billionaire in a year or two or whatever, because of your investments can do that for you. If you got your money in the right places, you know, there's just no way. There's just too many avenues for you to just like sit on $1 million.
Well, Shaq has
not have it work for you.
Shaq, Dwayne Wade, a lot of these guys has gotten very smart. They're putting their money into corporate America. Shaq has money in so many franchises, and that's where your money grow. Look at Serena Williams. Shaq also is a minority owner of the Sacramento Kings. Dwayne Wade is a minority owner of the Utah Jazz. Serena Williams is a minority owner of the Miami Dolphins. Tom Brady has a 2% ownership of the Vegas Raiders. 2% of a team that's worth 15 billion, Steve.
Yeah, do the math.
Do the math. You know what I'm saying? And those franchises are just going to become more expensive as the years go on.
And even with the Dallas Mavericks, you know, people said Mark Cuban sold the team and he doesn't know. He didn't sell the whole team.
No,
he's a minority owner now. He's still an owner. He's still
yeah, he's not giving away all the equity in the team.
Right.
He just alleviated himself from the risk.
Right. But he made out.
Yes.
You know, that money, I'm sure he has it in other places.
Oh, Steve.
I mean,
he made so much money with that deal. Yeah.
Right. He made a lot of money. There's just so many places now where you could put your money and your money actually works for you.
Yes.
You know, there's so many people today that, you know, they work, but they don't need to hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened with athletes. And what happens, Steve, some of the guys you see, they're in the clubs, they have the entourage. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, there's never an entourage around them.
Right.
Kobe Bryant was one of those guys. You never saw him with an entourage in the clubs. Look at you can just pay attention to certain athletes. And the guys that go broke, they ended up having financial troubles because you're spending, you're getting taxed like crazy.
Right.
You're spending money. Steve, look at all the boxes over the years.
Yeah.
Even going all the way back to Joe Louis. Those guys went broke.
Right. Now, I want to talk about crypto real quick and then come back to basketball because I want to talk to you about John Morant.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks were panicking over the weeks because the crypto market has crashed, and I didn't look at it at all this morning, so I'm not sure what's happening or what it's doing, but I'm gonna take a quick look, and it's still down. Bitcoin's back under 70,000, which is a huge drop from where the all-time high was, which was 120,000 and some change. So, I was getting calls as the market was going down because no one expected Bitcoin to go below 70,000.
Yeah.
Never mind XRP dropping, all the other coins. But I was getting so many calls because, listen, man, I'm bleeding here. And yeah, so isn't everybody else. But listen, if you take your money out now and run, right, then you're at a loss. You take your money out, you're at a loss. And you have to understand, one of the things you have to understand about this type of market, and if you really follow cryptocurrency and you know what it is, and you know what the utility is from the many different coins that are out there, you understand all that, then look up some of the partnerships with companies like Ripple, also XLM, which is owned by Stellar Lumens. Look at some of those partnerships they have, and you tell me, where do you think it's going? So I say that only because, listen, the market is bad. Be patient.
There's also a sports arena that's named after crypto.
And guess what team that is? The Seattle Seahawks.
That's right.
Lumen, I think it's Lumens Field, which is Stellar Lumens owns XLM, which is a cryptocurrency used by the banks or financial institutions for cross-border payments. So it ain't going nowhere. You got stadiums named that. There was even a crypto commercial on during the Super Bowl that came on. So during this time, this is actually a great time. People are like, how can it be great and the markets crash? Because now you can go shopping. All right. Imagine when the food prices drop it at the supermarket. What are you going to do?
Buy more.
You're going to go to the market and go stack up on certain items because it's cheap. Same thing in crypto, same thing in stocks. This is the time to buy. If anything, when they was calling, what should I do? And they know I'm not a financial advisor. I'm better. It's just saying, all right, let me stop that. Buy some more.
Well, Steve, one of the things I learned over the years by putting money in the stock market, I learned from people that works for big time companies. They said whenever the market drop, people with money buy more. The people with small money, they panic and pull their money out. The people that have money, I'm gonna be honest.
No, they take the losses.
Steve, I think it's a calculated thing that goes on with the market, and it's been going on for years, Steve. I think when the market
hit it
drops,
right on the nose, Rich.
The small time people that got 30, 40, 50,000, they panic. But the people that got millions, they go in and buy those shares that those people are selling off. I learned that from someone that works for a big time investment firm in this downtown Boston.
Let's go back to that, because you just said something very key right there. You said it was calculated. It is calculated. I believe it is.
Yes.
For those, let's use BlackRock as an example, because BlackRock actually, and don't get me wrong, I want to say they sold 9 billion in Bitcoin ETFs or something like that. One of the ETFs that they own, they sold 9 billion of them, right? So that kind of tells me they must have got the drop on the market going down and they pulled those investments, or they wanted to sell those investments just to manipulate the market so that they could buy more for cheap with the same money. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, folks.
This is much bigger than us, Steve.
Oh, it's a lot bigger than us,
much
man.
Much bigger than us.
And the biggest thing that's really happening with this market, because there is market manipulation that exists. The biggest thing that's going on is the big boys, like you mentioned, they kind of control it by pulling their money and then buying when it's cheaper.
That's right.
And you can best believe they're spending millions and billions of dollars in buying what you're afraid of for a lot cheaper. Their goal is to get you out the market and to get you to sell your crypto because they don't want you at the table.
Most definitely. I got a quick political and financial story to tell you all in once. There was a young kid a few years back. He got rich, worth millions, because every stock that the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, bought, he followed her and invested everything she invested in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people always say Nancy Pelosi, she should go to jail, insider trading.
Right.
That's, what? Republicans make money off the market. Democrats make money. I'm going to tell everyone that. Coming from just a standpoint of when people want to go for each party, they all make money. Okay. Now, Nancy Pelosi made millions. I think her and her husband's worth a couple of $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a young kid, college kid, followed Nancy Pelosi's investments, made millions. Imagine how many people wish they could have been smart enough to do that, Steve.
Hey, do what they do. Do what they do. When they're buying, you should buy. And they're buying right now because everything's cheap.
Yep, that's right.
Do what they do. Do what people do that are successful in doing. That's who you should be following.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Not your boy who said, man, I'm pulling my money. I ain't never touching that. Nah, that's a scam.
Yeah, he's taking his money out the market and going to the casino.
Let him be afraid and, no researching. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing. Let them say what they want. And I could tell you, man, I remember when I first really started getting into stuff, man, I try to hit people to it, man. And, man, I heard everything, man. All right, when you lose your money, I heard all of that. I heard everything, man. And it's laughable. It's laughable now because quite a few of those folks right now, they own some.
Yeah.
Or they're calling me about it. You know what I mean? So, you got right now, Bitcoin has been added to 401ks.
Yeah.
So it's not going anywhere, but there's just so much going on behind closed doors as well. Like the biggest thing that we're waiting for right now is this act called the Clarity Bill, which gives the banks clarity on what they can and what they cannot do with cryptocurrency. It was supposed to pass a few weeks ago. The reason why it didn't is because the banks did try to pull a fast one. And what they tried to do, they tried to put in the bill some language that said that we could not, as investors, we could not make money off our cryptocurrency in terms of getting, just like how you get your equity out of a house. They don't want us to be able to leverage our crypto for loans and things like that, or get a high interest rate for loaning out our crypto. They don't want that to happen. So that right there just tells you, because if that does happen, you know what it does again? It means that I'm not going to the bank for a loan. I'm not going to need the bank for a loan because I have the asset that I could lend out for my own loan and get a loan. You know what I mean? So that's why the bill didn't pass. And the guy from Coinbase, I can't remember his name, he stood up for that, and they didn't allow that bill to pass because of that language. So something will come back. I'm sure they'll modify it. To what extent, I don't know. But that just shows you the value of cryptocurrency for people like you and I to own it.
And one of the things, Steve, the average person, working person in America has to realize, big corporations are not trying to make every person in society rich. You need people going to work every day. You need people doing the labor jobs. We're not going to teach everybody how to become millionaires in America. That's just a known fact. You have to figure out this yourself.
Yeah. Well, there's still a small percentage of people that own crypto. It's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
So when you hear people say, they own crypto and or all these people own it, that's not true. It's a very small percent. I want to say 1%, 2% is very, very small in terms of worldwide, the amount of people that own cryptocurrency. And the reason for that is because not a lot of people understand it.
But that's the main thing. Yeah. A lot of people are scared to mess with it.
Yeah.
And you know what, Steve? People can't see it physically. So that's what I think scares people.
Yeah. Well, it's the new thing. It's digital currency. It's digital money. It's money. It's money. And, you know, if you look at that, I'll say this, you know, if you got $1 million, you don't have $1 million.
You really don't.
If you got $1 million, you do not have $1 million.
And you should never let if you got, like you say, 1 million, 100,000, 200,000, letting it sit right in a bank account.
I can hear someone now, well, what I got? What I got?
You letting it sit in a bank account is the worst move you could do. Just to let, if you got a large sum of cash, to let it sit right in a bank account, worst thing you could do with money.
I would never do that. You're right. It is one of the worst things to just sit in the bank, not working for you. Oh, it's working for you, but it's slave labor.
Well, they're taking your money and they're loaning it out, Steve, at 8, 9, 10% to someone else.
Let's talk about that. They're doing that and they're making billions, right?
I mean, it's a reverse thing. Think about it, Steve. You go out and buy a new car, you pay, let's just say 8% interest on that loan. So then you got $200,000 in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving you what? 1% a year on that, maybe, Steve, if that.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's below
whatever they're giving you, Steve, and then they're loaning out your money for 10, 11, 12%. So look at that scenario.
Yep.
That's the easiest way I could explain it to someone, how this system works.
Having money in a savings account, hell no. I don't even like CDs. Yeah. But, you know, I can't be mad at someone who has one, you know.
At least you're making something.
But if you're going to get a CD, you know, I don't even know what CDs pay it today.
I think it's pretty good right now. I think it might be around 5% right now.
5%.
So if you got 100,000, you're gonna make about 5. If you leave it in for 9 months, it matures. You're looking at $5,000.
So I'm not mad at that.
If you're a person that don't want to risk and don't know nothing about the stock market, it's not a bad deal.
I think okay. I'm not mad at that. That's not bad, but there's still other places you could put that money and earn more of a percent on your money and get back whatever monthly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Again, I would continue to buy. Everything is on sale still. I don't know if this is the last time they're gonna try and shake the tree, but again, they're shaking the tree, and the purpose of that is to get certain people out of the market so that they can scoop everything up. Remember, they don't want you and I at the table.
That's right.
You know, they don't want us at the table, and it's not a lot of us at the table anyways, but at least the few that could be at the table, you should be hanging there. Don't sell your stuff. Be patient. Believe me when I say,
well, Steve,
when it happens,
if they taught everyone how to invest and become millionaires, who's going to get up and go to work?
No, that's true.
They don't want everybody in the country being a millionaire.
Right.
You know, you gotta have a workforce, you know, and that's how it is. So I mean, financial independence, you have to learn that yourself.
You do, and it's not hard. And it's a shame that we say it all the time. They don't teach this stuff in school when they really should. I don't understand. I know why they don't teach it, you know, because it works against the big picture.
That's right.
You know, if you know how to handle your credit cards and finances, then guess what? The banks can't make money on the interest that they charge you.
That's right.
You know, they don't want you to know that stuff. There's a reason for all of that, man.
Well, the American economy, Steve, runs off of credit. A lot of people don't realize that. Buying cars, buying houses, credit cards, getting the American people in debt. That's what fuels the economy.
You, the bank, and interest rates.
Yes, that's what fuels this economy.
You, the bank.
If no one went into a bank to borrow money to buy a house, a car, any type of loans, home improvement loans, Steve, the banks wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps the economy going. People getting in debt for a few, you know, the promise of paying back with an interest.
And this is what we're taught from day one. And I've said it all the time, man. We are all like cattle. We're like cattle.
Yes.
From the day we're born, you are worth a certain amount of money at every age. From the time you're a child to becoming a teenager to an adult, you do certain things, and there are certain aspects of your life that when it comes to money, you're attached to it.
That's right.
So maybe at 16, you're worth probably about 500,000. You're going to spend 500,000 in medical bills because you're playing sports. You're going to get hurt. You're going to have to go to the doctor. You know, everybody's getting paid, man.
No, Steve, what you're saying is so right. I added up my health insurance of over 30 years working for the MBTA. I paid about $700,000 in health insurance before I needed to use it.
Go ahead.
Look at all that money they've made off of me and invested it.
Think about all the cars you've owned, all the houses. Just think about all the loans that you've gotten from the bank. Think about all the money you use to purchase items on your credit card. And then think about all that interest. You may have bought a pair of Jordans for $300 and charged it on your Visa. But guess how much you really paid for it after all the interest? And the same thing with a car. You might go in a dealer and get a BMW for $60,000 and finance it. Oh, man, you could best believe it's going to cost you about $100,000, $200,000, depending on your interest rate, credit, and all that stuff.
Score, yeah.
You know, same thing with a house. You buy a $500,000 house for 30 years, do the math.
Probably paid over $1 million for it when you're done.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, everything's predicated on credit. I mean, yeah, the money that you put up, even car insurance, health insurance, like you said, Steve, we have a worth to society. If you know that old saying, being productive member of society.
Yep.
Yeah, working and paying into the system.
Yep, paying into the system. Even when you become an elderly person.
That's right.
There's plenty of value there, especially in healthcare.
That's right.
Pharmaceutical items. I mean, we're all cattle. we're all, you know, I don't want to use the word slaves, but we're all slaves to society.
Yeah,
man.
that's what it really comes down to. The smart people find the ways to make money, and they find the tax breaks. That's what rich people do. They find tax breaks.
Mm-hmm.
The wealthy people do not pay that much taxes because they have accountants and lawyers.
Well, wealthy people have laws set up that they take advantage of that we don't know about.
And you can't really blame them because you have to figure out how to, finagle the system.
Now listen to this. So I believe it was who bought Dr. Dre's house? Was it Brady? Anyways, Jay-Z and Beyonce bought a house somewhere. I don't even know if they still own it, but I remember them talking about getting a loan or taking out equity or something to that extent. And people were saying they were broke and whatever. But what they were doing was they were using you hear the term all the time, other people's money.
Exactly.
They weren't using their money. They were other people's money. And you can't, the way they did it, you can't be taxed on it. The way it was done, there's no taxes.
Most of them set up a trust, Steve.
Yeah.
They set up trust and buy stuff within a trust.
They leverage their assets to get loans, which pretty much are tax-free. It's really that simple. I don't know how they do it exactly.
I believe it's a trust. There's a way you can set up a trust and you buy stuff with the trust.
Yeah. Yep. Money. Just talking a little bit about money. We all love it. Well, you shouldn't love it because they say it's the root of all evil. So don't love it. You can like it.
Well,
just don't love it.
Well, Steve, Reverend Knight, remember Reverend Knight?
Yeah.
Out of Chicago?
Yeah.
He said money was not the root of all evil. The lack of money was the root of all evil.
That is part of it. And usually where there's a lack, you have the love for it because you don't have it.
Yes.
And so it makes sense. It makes sense. Yep. So, all right, we're going to leave the folks right there, man.
Once again, just want to congratulate the New England Patriots. They touched down last night. There was fans that went out to the airport and gave them a welcome back to New England. And, there were smiles on the guys' faces. They had something to feel good about.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel talked to the fans, signed autographs. It was good to see him come back. But, hey, man, Steve, listen, man, next thing's up, the Combine, NFL Draft comes up. Hey, Steve, I'm excited. I don't want to rush life because, Steve, we're at that age, man. We want life to slow down. But I'm already excited for next football season.
Well, here's I'm going to say this, and we'll end with this. Again, I'm disappointed in how they lost. Not so much that we lost the game, but how they lost. They lost because of a problem that they knew of that they didn't make any adjustments to fix. I would hope that Mike Vrabel, even Josh, would have a conversation with someone like a Bill Belichick. You know, what could we have done? And I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is the greatest coach of all time. We should have talked about that more.
Yeah.
He's definitely that. So why not talk to him? I'm sure he watched the game and probably would have made an adjustment. You said it earlier. He would have probably called Campbell out of the game.
I might have called Bill as a consultant before the game.
Right. Exactly. So all right, folks, congratulations to the Patriots. Hey, the one thing to look forward to is they got a lot of money to spend. So next season
and plenty of draft picks.
Next season they should be that much better. And I'll say this: I saw some of the schedule for next year.
We got a much tougher schedule, but I'm not.
They got the Chiefs. They got Seattle.
I'm not scared of that
schedule.
schedule.
I'm not either, but it's a lot tougher. It's like the opposite of what they had this year.
You know what? We won 14 games. If we win 12 games and make the playoffs, win the division, I'm still happy.
Right.
There you go.
Right. All right, we out of here, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Urban Heat, R&B Vibes is up.